Welcome to Morning Coffee with Bob. I'm your host, Bob. We got some real problems in this country. We got some real problems in the trucking industry. Sean Duffy is the new Secretary of Transportation. Sean Duffy. Our lawmakers, there's 535 lawmakers. There's 65 lawmakers that are on the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee. There's a new surface transportation recertification bill that's coming up. That comes up every 5 years. That's how the planes, trains, automobiles, trucks, airplanes, the whole thing, that's how we get our funding in this country. That's how we operate. And the nominee is Sean Duffy from Wisconsin. And to make sure that he was qualified to do the job, our Congress questions him. That's the process that our country has. You get nominated for the job of the Secretary of Transportation, and then there's a committee, the Infrastructure Committee, will go ahead and question him and see if he's qualified. Well, the questions they asked really makes me wonder if they're qualified to ask the questions, because when they questioned Sean Duffy, they talked about planes, they talked about their municipal airport, they talked about roads in Alaska, they talked about maritime, they talked about railroads and derailments. They talked about how we're going to stop this. They think putting two engineers in a truck is going to, or in an engine is going to stop a derailment. They don't even understand it. They took the power away from the engineer. They don't get to read the sensors of a hot axle. I could go on. But they talked to this man to make sure he was qualified to be the Secretary of Transportation. Never once did they mention, never one time in all the questions that the transportation, that our lawmakers questioned this guy to make sure he was qualified, the word tractor, trailer, truck, and trucking industry never came up, not one time, not one instance. They didn't talk about it. They didn't ask a question about it. Sean Duffy never mentioned it. We're like dogs that have been kicked so many times, and the dog don't even fight back at this point. You can just kick the dog and it'll stay in the corner. That's what we are. And I'm pretty sure that President Trump has no idea that there's people coming to this country as a truck driver on a work visa and that their license isn't connected to that work visa. I'm positive he doesn't know that. I'd like to have a chance to go explain some common sense to President Trump. We should tag him in this video. If not me, send somebody. Somebody needs to talk. If this is the golden era of common sense, we need to get a hold of President Trump, because our lawmakers they didn't even bother mentioning. We move 72% of everything in this country. The trucking industry, it's billions and billions of dollars. We weren't mentioned. It never came up. Talked about everything else. They talked about bicycle trails, but they never mentioned the 72% of everything that you're looking at, that you're holding, the phone that you got, the clothes on your back, the electricity in your house comes from a coal truck that went to the power plant. That never came up. This surface transportation recertification bill, it comes every 5 years, and it's about to come around again, and that's what ELDs and all those, that's where all those laws come from, and it's about to happen again, and we're not even they're not even considering talking to us. So we need someone to talk to President Trump to maybe explain some common sense about why there's no parking in here. If you get rid of this 14-hour law, this 14-hour rule that's doing nothing but costing American lives, it's causing wrecks. This 14-hour rule is destroying people's lives. If we get rid of that, it'll save $700 billion in parking, because that 14-hour rule also makes 4 million people go to bed at the same time. Anyway, we need someone to explain some common sense to President Trump, because our lawmakers, the common sense is so far gone, it's unbelievable. So tag Donald Trump. Maybe we can get somewhere and have our voices heard. Maybe we'll be mentioned and stopped acting like a bunch of scalded dogs. Have a good day.